Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. This is your host, Garfield Waller, and welcome to another episode of Rock the Mic. St. Mary High, walk down memory lane. We have a very exciting show for you guys this evening. This is going to take us way back to the 70s. Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce my guests, I just want to go on my soapbox for a little while. Guys, I'm doing this program for a couple of reasons. One, I would like to get the St. Mary High alumni back together. We have all been scattered. We're like the diaspora. We're all over the world. United States, Europe, Australia, Arab Emirates, we're all over. And I want to get everybody back together. One of my main reasons for getting everybody back together is I have a goal. Me and a few other friends, and I, we want to buy a bus for the school. So I'll soon be hitting you up for money. Guys, there are a lot of people who, having left St. Mary High, they have turned their back on the school. I want to reverse this. I'd like everybody to be as proud of St. Mary High as I am. I really bleed green and gold. So I'm asking everybody, please come back into the fold. Help support the school. Help to support the school. The school needs a lot of help. We really do. We are hurting. For example, in this time of COVID, we're in need of electronic equipment like tablets, phones, and things like that. And we're asking you to look, if you have an old tablet at home, an old laptop, donate it. It will go a long way in helping a child. Trust me, it will. The school also needs help when it comes to the physical plant itself, the buildings, bathrooms, staff rooms, classrooms. We need help in that respect. And to my pet project, the bus. Guys, I've seen schools that have come way after us. Now they have afforded 1, 2, 3 buses. Why can't we? I would love for us to drive up to the next Eastern Championships at the stadium in our own bus. It is possible. No, I'm not asking everybody to write $1,000 check. It would be good if you could, but for the number of graduates we have produced since 1960, guys, if everybody gives $20, we could buy several buses. Not just one, several. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be dipping into your pockets. I know it's COVID time and things are tight. Things are really tight. Some people have lost their jobs. But for those who haven't, I'm going to be hitting you up for some money. Okay? So be prepared. Keep those wallets and those checkbooks open. And now, guys, let's get to our show. Let's get to our show. Notice I said in the little intros I was doing, this is all about speed. As Tom Cruise said, I feel the need for speed. These guys I'm about to introduce are some of the fastest ever to set foot in St. Mary High. These guys were blazing fast. In fact, as that time as a schoolboy, these were the fastest human beings I ever saw. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you members of the relay team in 1974, first male team from St. Mary High to go to the Penn Relays. Let me introduce them one at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman has done yeoman service in helping to raise funds for the bus. He is raising a lot of funds. And to think, he only attended St. Mary High for about 3 years. But this guy loves St. Mary High. So ladies and gentlemen, could you welcome to the screen, to rock the mic, Mr. Mark Smith. Mark, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man.
Great, good. All right. Next guy who did everything for St. Mary High, football, track, everything. Mr. Lenworth Skelly Marshall. Here he is. Lenworth, how are you, sir? Are you hearing us, Lenworth?
I'm doing good.
Good. You seem to be frozen.
I'm doing
all right.
Good.
Okay. Now, another guy who, as a youngster at St. Mary High, I looked up to this man. This guy was a big brother then. Ladies and gentlemen, Cedric Tex Smith. Your respects. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Doing pretty good, Gary.
Good. And let's see if Mr. Bowie can do. He's still waiting in the wings. But guys, the man who put this all together, Mr. Lister Horton James, coach. Coach, how are you, sir?
Let me not complain at all. Put everything together, I'm doing very well.
We have some awesome feedback here. I don't know whose computer is coming from, but let's see if we can get this going. All right, gentlemen, welcome. Glad to have you here. Okay, let's go back several years. 1974. Mr. Horn James, your first question. What did you see in these guys? Why you decided, hey, they could go to Penn?
Where do I start now? I think 1974 we took. Let me say this. I think in 1974 we took just less than 10 balls. A few. I almost call all the names. But we came 16 championships. And Kingston College could just barely edge us out in the first place for the relay. And when I checked the performance at Penn relays, I realized this stood a chance of coming home with a medal or possibly going there and win. And this included the United States. Anybody from anywhere in the world are instilled fearlessness and positive attitude and teach each athlete how to go on track and leave everything on the track when it comes to actual performance.
Okay.
So with that and other aspects of the sport, I decided let's go to the Penn relays.
All right, Penn relays. Was there a time limit standard that you guys had to meet? Coach?
Oh, no, say it again. Get the feedback.
Yeah, somebody's mic. Yeah, was your standard that you had to meet?
The standard was the actual performance. It was a great set of sprinters. I can call the name who started now.
Who started the relay, guys?
Ludlow Bowie.
Ludlow started and handed over to Tex. And text to Lenworth. And Lenworth to Solo, yeah.
Okay.
That team was worthy of going in a world-class team. Don't bother say when this little Highgate and little St. Mary, right? That is rubbish. It's exactly God is partial. And it doesn't, we never had any track. It's just a little piece across the school. We had no facilities as such, no equipment as such. But the performance and the mental attitude with some motivation. And I did not spare myself in going all out. Voluntary. Not even one red cent, and I didn't want to pay. Neither was I looking any recognition. What I wanted was the performance and the progress for St. Mary High and the team.
All right, good. Thank you.
But a world-class team.
Yeah, hold on, Coach. Mark, let's start with you. Mark, you were only at St. Mary High for 3 years. Where were you coming from? What school were you coming from?
Junior secondaries, Richmond Junior Sec.
Richmond Sec? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the coach got me up from down there, right, Coach?
Yes, I took you from Richmond Tech.
All right.
It was Sulu who mentioned to me, told me about you. And of course, with the very close relationship from childhood days with your mom, affectionately known to me as Chiquita, everything put together. I had to take you.
All right. So, Mark, what were your first impressions of coming to St. Mary High?
I always look forward to going to St. Mary High because I had guys like Cedric there who left, we were in school together. And guys like Glenn Stanford, who became my roommate here in New York. And guys like Cedric, like I said, and Bowie and Sulu and Ledworth, you know, guys like that inspired you because they were running track and you wanted to do the best you could. So more so Cedric, he was like a bigger brother to me. That's how I felt at the time.
In fact, at one stage, I thought you were brothers.
Yeah, well, we're brothers, but you know, he was someone I looked up to since we were in primary school because we're in school.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody's coming again with... Mute the mics again until I ask a question, please. Mute the mics again. Okay, good. All right. Now, Mr. Marshall, Skilly, you were lightning fast. At what time in Mirzai, your life at Mirzai, did you start doing track? What year did you start doing track? First form, second form, or what? Marshall. Mr. Marshall, sir, are you hearing us?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Marshall. What year did you start doing track? What class were you in?
No, I started third form going into fifth form.
Okay, but I noticed you also played football. Which was your favorite? Yeah, man, we're hearing you.
Yeah, I started about fourth form.
Anything else?
I started doing at the first year in class 2.
First year class 2, okay. And what event was your specialty? Marshall, what event did you specialize in?
I actually started playing cricket I played football from third form.
Okay.
I played table tennis, all the sports at that time.
Yeah, I remember you're an all-rounder. Yeah.
Track to me. Yeah, well, I end up being 120.
Yeah, your connection seems to be.
All the guys were my friends. You know, we were brothers.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you guys seem very tight. All right. Let's go to text now. Let's go to Cedric. Cedric, can you unmute your mic? Let's hear you now.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I think that's what it is. Yeah, text.
Yeah.
Text. When I saw you first at Mirzai,
Yeah.
you were this huge muscular guy. No, I didn't believe it was that generate speed. How did he do it, man?
I don't know, to be honest with you. But I gotta tell you this. Marshall broke all our hearts. It was a heartbreaker. Because Marshall used to play cricket, you know. He wasn't a sprinter. He was me know him as a cricketer. Him and Fabian Jones and Norris Williams, the two brethren them.
Yeah.
Right? Them man used to play cricket big time. And one day, I think it was we have a house, you know, we have house sports. And Marshall come round. And the man, we couldn't beat the man, him win everything. And I said, where the man I come from for, so, you know. Anyway, I would know Bowie, him used to be like speed, him fast, you know, him quick. When him start, him like, when the gun go off, him like half down the track already. And there is Marshall I come through now, and me I try to catch him, and boy, one time I'll drop. I try to catch him, and drop. But, you know, we train and thing, and we work, and Mark was a real inspiration, because when I went to Eastern Champs, Mark always won his event going away. It's like there was no doubt about win for event, the 800.
That's true.
You can bet money, all of your money, because Mark will win that. You know, so it was really nice. But I always try my best. I work very, very hard. Very hard. You know, get up early morning time and we run and I spend more time at school than I did at home because that's where all of my friends were. Yeah, my friends, like, no matter how many are when we really grow up. Whenever I have as many friends down there as I had at St. Mary's, like Mark, Bowie, and Monty, and Norris, Fabian, and them, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Anybody who wants to create. What does Coach James mean to you?
It was like God. Because Coach James, he would go over and beyond. He would worry about nothing, you know. Like when we finish training in the evening, we go up at his house and we drink some milk or some Milo. And if we get an injury, he have the heat lamp. And he always read up and make sure he know the latest techniques. And he was always there, you know. And he always had the good guidance for us, you know. Beyond the athletics, like he would give you a word of wisdom and everything there. So coach was like the father for all of us. You know, yeah man, we look forward to Coach James. He was like biggest respect to Coach James.
Mark, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I agree with Cedric a lot about that. Coach was a role model to us. We were young guys at the time. We thought we were grown, because I thought I was a grown man at 16. All right, but Coach James was there with inspiration, and he always believed in us. And when you talk about guys like Lenworth, he wasn't running track until one day, like Cedric said, he came out and he was just kicking everybody's butt. All right, and that's natural talent. Lenworth was just naturally fast, right? And Bowie and all those guys, and Solo and Tex. It was just a great team. And the coach, he held us together. And I think, like he said, we had a world-class team, bar none. U.S., Canada, I don't care where it is. And we didn't know at the time, but the coach knew it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to coach. Let's go to coach. Coach, listen up.
Yes.
You had a lot of success, boys and a lot more the girl. I remember once you took like 9 guys to champs and came like 5th or 6th in the country. I remember that.
Yeah,
now, coach, we're at any time. Wait, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome another member of the team here, Mr. Ludlow Bowie. Mr. Bowie, how are you, sir? Glad to have you here with us.
Hey, I was trying to join you for a long while, but
I saw you trying to get on. All right, just hold on, Bowie. We're coming to you. Yes, coach. With all your success, did it at any time occur to you that you could have gone to another top school and applied your trade there? Did it cross your mind?
No, I was raised in Highgate, St. Mary. Yes, I went to Excelsior, but Highgate is my roots. That's my town, and God is impartial. God Almighty is impartial when it comes to ability and quality. No, not at all. As a matter of fact, coaches from all over, regardless of school, Kingston College, Dennis Johnson always said to me that what they envy about, one of the things that they envy is that the team is always injury free. And also I had the smoothest, insofar as action of running is concerned, the smoothest athletes on the track every time, every year.
True, and Marco still gets
they were beautiful to look at.
That is so true.
Girls and boys.
And boys.
To watch them run. And they wonder how I did it. Well, I said, man, a gift from God Almighty.
With no playing field. Mr. Bowie.
With no playing field, no equipment. As a matter of fact, the first year I coached was 1968. And that time we had come we were at the bottom at Eastern Champs. And we won Eastern Champs convincingly with less than a dozen pair of spikes.
Wow.
Actually, how I did it.
All right, we're coming on to that. Bowie, yes, sir.
yes.
What event did you specialize in at St. Mary High? As if we all don't know.
100 meters. First and foremost. I also did a long jump.
Long jump.
That was the only to get some points for Harry House.
Harry House.
And the 200 sometimes was a bit too long for me, but I still tried it.
Yeah, man, I remember you had that bullet style. Wait, hold on. You were in Harry House, right, Bowie?
Definitely.
Mark, what house were you in?
Stanley.
Oh my God. Marshall, what house were you in? Skillet, what house were you in, sir?
Stanley.
And Tex, you were in
Harry, the great Harry House. Greatest of all.
Listen, man. I conspiracy against Henry House.
No.
It was not us. All right, guys. Let me ask you this. With Mr. Cargill as our principal, what was his approach to you guys with track and field and sports? Did he give the support or what? Bowie, you want to take this one, Bowie?
I don't think we could ask for any more support from Mr. EU Cargill. He was an inspiration to us all, and he encouraged us every step of the way. And he was very proud of his boys. Well, his students, I should say.
All right. Thanks. How you saw that? How you saw Mr. Cargill?
Mr. Cargill is one of the greatest human beings who ever lived. He was a big inspiration to me personally.
True.
Just somebody that you admire so much. You want to be just like him, you know what I mean? He was just incredible. I mean, just phenomenal, you know? Really. Come on.
Marco came in.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Marco came in late. Right. Yeah. How did you see Mr. Cargill?
I didn't have much interaction with him.
Okay.
I had one memorable one. He said he was gonna spell me. I didn't straighten up, so after that. So.
What about you, Skillet? Marshall. Your interaction with Mr. Cargill. Any? Okay, let's turn the coach. Thanks. Mute your mic and let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, coach. Your interaction with Mr. Cargill, how was it? You and Mr. Cargill.
Well, my dear sir, you asked me a very good question. And I'm just going to give you the facts. Mm-hmm. Don't get the impression that because I've never boasted or blown my trumpet at any time, and I will never do that. Mm-hmm. I'm just giving you the facts. Over and over, regardless of who, is always saying that this gentleman is my very best friend. That is referring to me. Mm-hmm. I remember on one occasion he had a very serious problem, some matter that was very private, highly confidential with the ministry. He couldn't make it in, and I was the one who he called upon to go to the ministry on his behalf.
Wow.
To sort out whatever the situation was. And I got the job done.
Right.
But he's always saying that parents don't come to him, they come to me. He wouldn't say it with any envy. He was just very happy, and I'm saying all of this with humility. So help my God as I raise my hand to God. He's always saying that what he notices that parents don't come to him, they come to me at either the business place or when I am at the school. So my relationship with Mr. Carr, as a matter of fact, on his deathbed, he looked at his brother, Mrs. Cargill, and a few others were there when he was at UA. And on his sick bed, he pointed to me, and I quote, "This gentleman is my very best friend."
That's a statement.
And so help my God, I lift my hand to the Lord. That's what he said. Let me stop at that. And I'm saying all of this with humility. I'm just saying exactly what the situation is and what the facts, reality.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Cargill was the man. No, guys.
I want to say this. It was a pleasure. He made what I was doing voluntary, not one red cent. He made it the whole thing such a joy.
Uh-huh.
And when you have a principal like that, you give your all.
You give, yeah, true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And no wonder the school was envied by so many people. As like I said, if the performance the smoothness and the relaxed way, and the confidence, the self-confidence that thank God I was able to instill in them, how they operated, how they perform, and their deportment and everything. Because I was very serious with the deportment situation.
Yep. I remember. All right. Let me ask you guys something. No. What was going to Penn's like? In fact, before you went, when Mr. James came up with the idea, Bowie, let's start with you. When Mr. James came up with the idea, what went through your mind? You guys going to Penn's?
Well, we could not imagine, to be quite frank, that this was happening. For all of us, I think it was the first time we were traveling overseas. So the excitement of going overseas, I mean, in of itself was something to look forward to. But we had, in terms of the relay team, we were very confident, and because over the years, KC have gone to the Penn relays and had done well, and we were right there neck and neck with them. So that also gave us a lot of good feeling that we could go overseas and do very well.
Do it, okay. Mr. Marshall, when you heard you were going to Penn's, what was that like? Scale of your connection seems to be. Mark, what about you? Coming from Richmond Sec, and now you're here, you're going to Penn's. Tell me what goes through your mind.
I was excited because I know my teammates were excited. I knew I was the fifth man on the team, but I suited up just like everybody else, and that was my first trip overseas, like Bowie mentioned. Although I was getting ready to travel again in June to finish up here, but it was just a great feeling, with all your teammates, having the coach with all the confidence. It was just exciting.
Mr. James.
Yes, my dear sir.
Where you guys got the money to go to Penn's? Tell me how you guys raised the money. That's still a puzzle to me, guys.
Mrs. Oh Lord, what's her name now? What heavens? Mrs. What a shame. Mrs. I think Hamilton. Hamilton was her name. Yes. Mrs. Hamilton spearheaded the fundraising. I made sure I didn't handle the money at all.
Before.
And I didn't want to handle the money neither. That was done because people's mentality.
Right.
No disrespect to anybody, but it was Mrs. Hamilton. I don't know how she did it, but she was the one who raised the money to go to Penn relays. And also my dad chipped in quite a bit.
As usual, yep.
As usual. Oh my God, my parents were really what should I say? A rock. They stood behind me 100%. My dad and my mother. He pitched in quite a bit, and who else? And I got some checks. I got a number of checks. I don't take no raw cash from nobody, and I was not snubbing anybody who don't have a checkbook. But I didn't want to handle the raw cash. I got a number of checks from various people.
All right.
Yes, James. I would want to call any names.
Yeah, you can't call any names.
Want to call some names and don't call some.
Right.
I did get quite a lump sum with Mrs. Hamilton's help, with the old man, and a couple of people, Stanley Hamilton, Dr. Sidney Martin, and folks like that.
All right, hold on, Mr. James. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, first, we apologize for that feedback. We cannot figure out where it's coming from. You are watching and you're seeing and listening to some of the fastest guys to ever grace St. Mary High. These guys were on the first team in 1974 that went to the Penn Relays. Guys, during that time, it was exciting. And I can tell you, these guys were fast. So, let's move on to when you guys landed in the USA. Okay. What was it like? What was, for those who were traveling the first time, what was your impression of the place? Mark, we start with you. You being the youngest. Go ahead.
It was different. It was everything was on a grander scale, from where we were coming from. But again, the team together, us guys and the coach, everything was just as easy as possible. It's like we were still in Jamaica. We had a great time. We stuck together, and it was just Philadelphia. It was on 18th and Market Street. I never forget that. That's where we stayed at RPN. Yeah.
Right. Tex, what was it like for you? Yeah. Did you travel before, Tex? No, your mic is muted, Tex. Your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I didn't travel before. So I was in a sense of awe. I was looking around, all these buildings are so huge, and everything. Everything was just so much on a grander, so much bigger, But I knew I had to act as if I'm smart and act as if that was a big deal, as if it's something I'm used to. Because that's what you got to do. You have to, even if you're not smart, you have to act as if you are, right? You can't. So we just kind of like fit right in and observe, focus, and we never got carried away or anything like that, But at the same time, we were sort of like looking around, absorbing, and just learning. But everything was happening really, really fast,
All right.
What about
Marshall? How was it for you on that first trip?
Yeah. It was overwhelming. It was the first time traveling, and my friends were there with me, so it made life much easier.
Were you guys awed by
But
any
it
of
was a
the
very
teams you saw?
overwhelming experience.
Right. Yes. Were you guys overwhelmed by any of the opponents?
No.
No.
Once we were on the track, it was a different story. That's where we're relevant now.
Because we knew our potential, and we knew that we could do very well. So we had the confidence in doing well.
All right. Bobby,
Yeah.
when you got to Franklin Field, were you at any time scared or in awe of any of the foreigners there in the American schools or what?
Not really, because we were so close bunch bunch of guys. We really supported each other, so we didn't get that didn't really come into our mind, fear or anything, because we were basically in support of each other. Obviously, we're all there, seeing a big city. We're learning. Let's face it. You coming from a district with only one street and see so many roads and so, of course, it would have been strange to you. I mean, we would have been seeing it on television, but to see it in real life is something else. But I think because of the togetherness of the team, we weren't overwhelmed by anything.
You weren't overwhelmed. Okay. Coach James, when you got to Franklin Field, sir, your impressions to realize you're bringing this little school, this little team from this little school in Highgate, and you're gonna face all these fancy teams. What went through your mind? What was going through your mind at the time?
What was going through my mind is not where you're coming from, but where you're going.
You're going, okay?
What was going through my mind is that we are also God's children.
All right.
What was going through my mind is that we are going to, pardon my language, we are there to bust ass. We are on a mission. And that mission, that's where they are coming from. That's their damn business, man. We know where we are coming from and where we are going. And that's what I drove in the head, and that's what that's it. The positive team.
Okay, we seem to have lost coach here, guys. For those watching, let me make an appeal again. Remember, we are on this drive to raise some money for the school. So I'm gonna put on the screen the account number, and for those who feel led and in a giving mood, please look on the screen and take down that number. Account number Scotiabank 100-138-313. Please give willingly. Please give willingly. And when you're giving, please specify that is for the bus fund and tell what house you're in. And I can say right now, I know Henry House is gonna top this. I know Henry House has the most generous people. But guys, I'm asking you to chip in and help us out. On another aspect, guys, I want to give kudos to this gentleman, Mr. Nick Taylor. He has the Speaker Mind Device Initiative on Waze FM 69.3. I'm asking you to listen to him every Monday night. This man is doing yeoman service to St. Mary High and the rest of the island. Mr. Taylor is on a drive to gather as many tablets and internet devices for kids. Trust me, he goes even as far as Westmoreland handing out devices. So he is the IT specialist at St. Mary High. So please support his drive. If you have any old tablets, old cell phones, whatever, please give to him. Nick Taylor on the Speak Your Mind show. He's on a device drive. Good. Now, guys, let's get back to our relay. Now, when that team left St. Mary High, we were expecting great things. We were expecting a lot of things. Now, Tex, you were the captain, right?
Yeah.
So, you're the captain?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, was it you, boy, or was it me? yeah, I think so.
All right, you're captain. Okay, so tell us what happened. Because I heard some bad things happen. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
What do you mean? Like
you didn't win a gold medal, right?
That's bad. Oh yeah. Well, what happened? We didn't win a medal. I don't think we got out of the heats. We had an accident. I guess you call it that.
All right.
Marshall was so fast, and I guess the anchor leg sort of misjudged his speed, and they kind of collided a little bit, and the baton dropped.
Okay. Who was anchor?
To the best of my memory, huh? Sorry.
Who was anchor? Solo?
Yeah, Solo was anchoring.
Okay.
Yeah. But you see, the thing with Marshall now, he's really, really fast, and the top end speed, sometimes it's easy for misjudge. So I believe what happened is Solo hesitated a little bit, and Marshall was right there on him quick, was motivated, and then so they ran into each other, and the baton dropped. So by the time he picked it up and tried to catch the guys, but he picked it up and he ran, and he ran like a blistering leg. It just he couldn't catch the guys, Couldn't catch him.
Marshall, how do you remember it? Yes, Marshall. How do you remember it? Your mic is muted. Somebody's typing somewhere.
Oh well, let me mute mine.
All right. Okay. Oh, Tex, let's go to you. You not Tex. Mark, you were the reserve on the team.
I was just hanging around, just in case somebody can run.
All right. Up to that point, Mark. First leg, second leg, third leg. How were we doing?
We're doing great. It was Casey and St. Mary all the way. I think we would have won. But like you said, text your story. Marshall was so fast that Solo underestimated his speed. And that's
speed
what
kills,
happened.
man.
and one thing you got to remember also, not only with regards to that, but whenever you have a Jamaica team, high school team, or a college, go to the Penn Relays even now, people, all these kids in America, they fear Jamaica. Jamaica is the number one. Jamaica is in this group. Everybody started, get crazy because they think that Jamaica is going to win every time they start. Up and like right now, it's the same thing. It hasn't changed since.
Wow.
So Jamaica is we're just good, talented people. And Lenny was too fast.
Then it was too fast. Yeah, he was quick.
Please, may I come in there?
Certainly, coach. Jump in anytime you want, man. Go ahead.
Actually, I watched the entire performance from start to finish.
Mhm.
And I'm still feeling very happy and very proud of taking the team to the pen relays.
Really?
Believe you me, it's a high water mark.
Uh-huh.
When Skelly reached the baton did not drop. When Skelly reached Marshall, when
Solo.
when Skelly reached Solo, we were way ahead of Kingston College and the rest of the other teams. Well, I wouldn't, no disrespect, but I didn't count them. They are there. But I didn't listen to them either because we were there, pardon my language, to bust ass. And somehow, I don't know, a little misjudgment. That's a little thing went there and so move and then ease up again and then he ran into him and just lost a little bit of time right there. But so my God, when Solo did eventually hold on to the baton and move, my God Almighty, ran down and ran past everybody. We were just barely edged out of the finals.
For the final. Okay.
Just
All right.
barely edged out of the finals. And if we were in that final, we would have come with 4 gold medals.
All right, guys. Thank you, coach. Of all of you, I think Mark is the one who went on after high school doing track. Am I right or wrong? Bowie, did you continue track after school?
No, definitely not.
No. What about you, Marshall? Track after school? No.
Something wrong.
Tex, what about you?
No, not me. No, I was just a guy who worked very hard. I was not like talented. It's like I told you earlier. When we went to Eastern Champs, when you saw the way Mark ran his race, you could see that this guy is gonna go very, very far. He just like killed everything. You know, you could see talent, and he got a scholarship because there's no denying it. It's there. It's obvious. You know what I mean? But me, I was a hard worker.
All right. Mark, we're coming to you now, Mark. Can you tell us a little bit of what happened after you left St. Mary High? Because it's very interesting.
When I left St. Mary, I was like, I was sad. I missed my friends. So I went to a high school here. Did my last year in high school, all boys school in the Bronx. Ran track, but I was still thinking about all the guys on the team. So I didn't want to stop. I'd keep on running because I figured I'd meet up with them again, whether it's track or otherwise, right? So I ran very well in New York State, and then I got a scholarship. And I did 4 years running 800 meters. And then Stanford, I know Squadgy. He became my roommate after my second year when he came up from Florida. So that's what happened.
Okay.
And I did pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Leroy Solo Coleman. Solo, what's up, man?
Yeah. Good man.
Solo. Yeah, Solo.
Everything was
Everything good, man.
Solo was one of Stanley's only hope. Right, you're in Stanley, right?
Yeah, Stanley, right?
Yeah,
Good.
Stanley.
Yeah, Stanley.
And it comes back to what I'm saying again. Notice there's nobody from Henry. This is intentional, man. Something's wrong. Yes, Solo, we're talking about that Penn Relays team. But Mr. James, there is one of the comments being made by the people watching. They want to know, with your wealth of knowledge, where did it come from? Were you self-taught or what? How did you learn all these things, Mr. James? No, it's a serious question.
Yeah. It's amazing. I started from Bromley Elementary.
Okay.
Under Mrs. Clark. That's Archbishop Clark's mother. She never taught me, but Bromley I remember before I went to Bromley in 1953, they were the best elementary school in those days in the island in cricket.
Wait, hold on, coach. Please,
A powerful little school. That little tiny place was in there.
wait, hold on, coach. Coach, we can't see your face. We can't see your face. Could you resend that?
Beg your
Yeah,
pardon. Yes.
good. Thank you. We need to see that handsome face, sir.
Yes, my dear sir. And okay, I started there, and then I went on to Mount Carmel for a year, and then Excelsior, and that's where I really took off. Self-taught, plus what I learned from Marty Geddes, and what's Jamaican high jumper name again? I can't. And a few, yes, Marty Ted Lamont, Ted Lamont, and I do a lot of reading. But I started coaching at it was Amin Lazarus, a class 1. I started coaching from first year class 2. And I would be coaching the class, those fellas that made my age group, and even class 1 boys. Amin Lazarus was a very good sprinter and shot putter. Remember when I used to coach him when he was in class 1?
Okay.
So, just gifted. And I did a lot of reading. And Ted Lamont was a very outstanding coach in Jamaica at that time. He had a track club, not Unity. Unity was Herb McKinley. What's the name of the track club again? We used to meet at North Street at St. George's College.
Wait,
And I just developed. I would have to say that I can hardly explain the gift from God Almighty. That's the only thing I can say.
right.
But I remain humble. I kept reading and thinking. A lot came out of my head too. You know. So, am I leaving out anything? Oh,
Wait,
and Daniel Malcolm from Turks Island. He was a brilliant sprinter from Excelsior in those days. Daniel Malcolm. He also helped me quite a bit. And that's it. And I just live and I keep improving from there. But I actually started at Bromley Elementary as an elementary school boy.
All right. Guys, hold on, coach. I've seen a lot of comments coming in. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't think you know this, but you served as motivators for a lot of people. When I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of people, especially myself. Solo. Like somebody just write, you were the fastest human being we ever saw up to that point. And then a guy named Bolt come and smash that up. But I remember that 100 meters where you guys ended up in that little ditch at the end of the 100 meters when you ran past the guava tree right down the gully. You guys were blazing fast. Seriously, do you guys have you at any point realized the impact you guys have had on that generation from the 70s? What do you think, Bowie? Has that ever crossed your mind?
I try not to think of it, but on reflection, and sometimes even now when we consider that 9 of us went to boys champs and came 6. 9 members, and that is, as a matter of fact, sometimes I tell people this and they can't believe it. They are just amazed that 9 of us could have the school play 6. I don't know when we'll ever do that again.
Exactly.
That's probably in terms of one of the achievements in track and field. I mean, yes, we went to Pens, but that was a fantastic year.
So
when we came.
Do you realize
Stick up in, please. Sorry to interrupt. that performance in 1974, coming 9 boys, I think, yes, coming sixth at boys champ, is a record in itself.
True.
In my humble opinion.
True.
That's history.
That is history.
I've been doing the research, and it's more than 100 years or whatever boys champs has been around. I don't know. And that has never been done by any school at any time, especially in 1974, in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and coming along. And that's not been done since.
Solo,
Yeah.
do you realize the impact you had on us? Do you realize
Well,
that
you
so many
can-
people had you?
I don't. You have to tell me, you know. I never figured I was such a role model, you know what I mean? But you know, when you reflect and look back on everything, as Lister said, is a heck of an achievement because I must realize in that period of time, you know, there was a real strong prejudice against country schools, you know.
Yep.
Before we could do that, you know what I mean? I remember too when, at least I probably remember when I came third in the 100 meter at that boys champ.
Yep.
And they had picked me on the character team. I think if I remember something right, I think Lister myself went I wish that, you know, carried me there or something. And in the 200 meter, they were trying to do everything to eliminate me. At that time, as I said before, the prejudice against this country, just me and Colin Bradford, I think it was very technical. I think. And you used to have this guy named Beecher from KC.
Yep.
Beecher was in class 3, you know. But they were trying they were trying everything to eliminate me in because normally automatically when they come to first 3, you should be on the team. They said I had to do a trial again. So they put Beecher in the 200 meter just to try to get rid of me, you know. And then Bradford and everything. So we had to struggle against a lot of prejudice, you know what I mean? I mean, that has changed over the years and things and so on, but the prejudice against your country school was really, really terrible if you ask me, you know what I mean?
Mark, coming from Richmond Sick, did you realize that at that time that you were going to be such a trendsetter? Because you basically laid the path for guys coming in from the secondary school. Did you realize the impact you had?
Sulu and I were at Richmond Sec together, right?
Oh,
we had a lot of inspiration based on Sulu. And like I said, the other guys like Tex and Bowie and them guys that were running before, and Marshall. So it worked out pretty good. You know, I felt that I could fit in because those guys were my peers. And we had that confidence and strength, you know, which is what took us through. You didn't fear anybody. You figured you could perform just as well. You gave it the best you could.
All right. No. Good, man. Good. But but you guys really were a role model. Bowie, what about you? What happened after? Who went in the army? You or Marshall?
Marshall
went in the army. Okay. How did your training under Mr. James help you in the JDF? Did it help you any at all? Marshall seems to have a connection problem, seems to have a big connection problem. All right, back to Mr. James. Mr. James, coming from a country school, I remember the first time after you won Girls Champs and you were called up to Coach Carifta. Can you give us a little of your experiences here? Was there any prejudice against you, any bias?
There was, I would say, envy and jealousy in certain quarters, which I ignored and treated with the contempt it deserves, and put them in my prayers.
Yes.
Ask the Lord to have mercy on them because it's sheer ignorance.
True.
The good Lord won't give one set this and one set is not. Yes, little Highgate, little St. Mary High. But we were more than Talawa.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, going back to in the Carifta games at that time, St. Mary High had a very high percentage of representatives on that team. It was what's his name? Chen from Kingston College pointed out to me that St. Mary High had quality and quantity. Well, we had Jackie Pusey, we had Solo, we had Gailey, and I forget who else on the character team. So, but overall, they may feel as if, well, you know, little St. Mary High, little Highgate, whatever it is, this, that. But I was eventually accepted and respected. Because they got a dancing they could have do about it.
All right. All right, guys. Wait, all right, guys. But guys, let's fast forward to today. I mean, we dominated champs back in the 70s, fell off a bit, and now we are back on top again in Eastern champs. Have you guys kept up? Have you guys kept up with what's going on Mary's High in terms of St. Mary High sports, track and field? And then you kept up, Mark?
No, I haven't kept up with. No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
All right. What about you, Tex? Have you been up to speed with what's happening?
No, not so much. No,
not so much.
To be honest.
Wait, hold on. Tex.
But
where are you now?
Where?
Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida. Mark, where are you?
Yeah, I'm in New York.
You're in New York. Coleman, where are you?
I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas. I hope you say. Bowie, you're still in GA, right, Bowie?
I'm in Kingston.
You're not left, right? All right. But Bowie, since you're home, have you kept up with what's happening?
Not in recent years. There was a time when I was on the board, but since then I've been active.
Okay, but guys, we are defending champions at Eastern Champs. In fact, we have a young coach here who I think this is his third year winning. Nice young coach. I'm gonna get him on one day, and Mr. James, he's really carrying on in your footsteps because this guy.
I will keep him in my prayers.
Because when this young man can understand, when he took the job at St. Mary High, he promised that in 5 years he would have St. Mary High at the top of Eastern Champs. I understand he did it in 2.
Very good.
Mr. James, you have set a standard there.
Yeah, but because actually we won Eastern Championships for about either 12 to 14 years in succession, you know.
Yeah, we dominated for a while.
As a matter of fact, we won it the very first year I coached.
Oh, okay.
1968. Coming from the bottom to the top.
To the top.
Or near the bottom.
Wait. People listening and watching, Mr. James is very humble, but something I want to let you know. A couple of Olympics ago, another country in the region came up and won even 4x1 girls. And at the Olympics, they won 4x4. And I'm talking about the Bahamas. Do you all know that this man, Mr. James, is one of the pioneers of track in the Bahamas? I guess most of you didn't know that. Mr. James, you want to give us some synopsis of how that went?
I went to the 1976 Olympics in Canada. At that time, St. Mary High had 2 girls on the relay team. Lily Hodges and Jackie Pusey. And if Doreen Small was not injured, not under my watch, thank God, but it was here in the States, we would have had 3. And I met the Wisdom brothers from, the same region, Carifta and what have you. And I went to the Carifta. I was the head coach for the Carifta team. The head coach, I was a member, as a matter of fact, I'm the only non-J3 member that ever go away officially on behalf of Jamaica. With humility, sir. Anyhow, cut a long story short, I became very friendly with a couple of guys from the Bahamas, the Wisdom Brothers especially. And Bahamas was really, after the Tom Robinson era, that top sprinter. Athletics just went to nothing in the Bahamas. And I was able to rally, motivate them, got them back together, and I was invited, I still have the letter, to reorganize and revive track and field in the Bahamas. Wow. This simple little man you see here. And I have that in black and white on the BAA, Bahamas Athletic Association, by their president or the secretary, inviting me to the Bahamas. And somebody said, oh, listen, man, go to the Gleaner with this thing and have it published. But that would have sort of weak my personality, man. Run down to Gleaner to go look little recognition. I don't need that. By the end of God. All right. So, and that's a fact. And I have the letter until today. That it may come up down the road, I don't know, but I'm not the one to push it. You're the only one to push it. To bring it up. I really respect you for that.
No, and I had to let everybody know. I had to let everybody know that, man. I had to let everybody know that. But like I say, I'm reading the comments, and a lot of people are appreciative of you guys. A lot of people like the fact that you guys went ahead and you, like this person, Marsha Bennett, says, you guys really paved the way for those who came on, because we just wanted to be like you. We just wanted to be like you. You guys set the example. You guys set the stage for us, and we're proud. We're proud of you guys, and we're happy that you could take the time out to really come back and share your experiences with us. But guys, of Penn Relays, Gibson, Eastern Champs, Development Meet, what to you was your favorite event? What was your favorite time? Was it Eastern Champs, Boys Champs? Mark, let's start with you.
Well, I always enjoyed Boys Champs, but the epitome was going to the Penn Relays. That was a high accomplishment, high achievement.
That's a high watermark.
That was my best recollection with the team.
What about you, Bowie? What was your high watermark?
Well, of course, Penn will be right on top, but we really enjoyed Boys Champs.
Okay.
Especially when you are running on the final evening. It was really awesome.
Tex, which one for you was it?
Decide what the rest of the guys them say. I mean, Penn Relays, yeah. I mean, I always enjoy going to Boys Champs. I also enjoy Eastern Champs because we always win, and when you win, you enjoy it. It's nice, right? You beat them up. I mean, but yeah, the high water mark was Penn Relays.
All right. The question. Which team did you guys enjoy?
Enjoy what? Sorry?
Beating the moon.
Apple Grove, Titchfield, Apple Grove.
What about you, Mark? Mark, what about you?
I can't hear.
Okay. What about you, Mark? Which school did you enjoy spanking?
Repeat that, please. Yeah. Repeat that question, please.
Yeah. Of all your opponents, which school did you enjoy spanking the most?
Well, Casey was always our nemesis, right? And it was very difficult. Calabar was also very difficult. But are you referring to Eastern Champs or Boys Champs?
Anyone.
Well,
all right, let's start with Eastern Champs. Which one you wanted?
I don't remember who our rivals were, to be honest with you. I think Kitchfield or someplace like that. But Boys Champs is great memories. Calabar, Casey, JC, Wilmers, those kind of schools. And St. Mary High was always there with them because we had the best guys at the time. These guys were awesome, really fast.
What about you, Bowie? Who did you enjoy beating the most?
at Eastern definitely Titchfield because they were our main rival. But it's strange that we also had the best relationship in terms of this Eastern schools. We had the best relationship with, but we enjoy beating them.
Yeah, that's a strange thing. I find in football, our nemesis was Titchfield, but some of my closest friends were those same guys we used to battle against. I don't know why. I don't know why. Coach, which coach did you relish going up against? Which coach did it give you pride to beat?
If I may use a colloquial term, no special school. I was just there to boss ass. It's as simple as that. I don't business with school. School hell. St. Mary is the number one school as far as I'm concerned. I respected them. Yes, we always brought up you must respect people, and I respected them, but I didn't have any special school. I just lump everybody in one basket and said, I'm here to whip all.
Listen, guys.
And so we went, and I made sure we went there, and we did whip all, and we dropped as they would say in Jamaican parlance or Jamaican language. We bust ass with Kokomaka stick, man. So Jack.
All right. Let me ask you guys.
And hold on. I heard football came up. I actually coached football with much success one term.
All right. Guys, when you were running, one thing St. Mary I could boast about, and I see a lot of girls mentioning it here, is our cheering section. When you guys on the track, do you actually hear the cheers? Tex, do you actually hear it? Tex, do you actually hear the cheering?
Yes, man. And that motivated for us to give it all. And oh yeah, because you want to win, you don't want to disappoint. I mean, it's like juice, man.
Oh, you could hear the cheering?
And to the extent that I started the relay, so I was probably the closest to the cheering crowd. So it was really a great motivation, and we really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the entire package, the journey on the bus to camp and back from camp. You know, 1 year I can't remember if it was 73 or 74. I think it's probably 73. When we normally stayed by the Boy Scout headquarters. When we turned up, the place was bulldozed down. They were setting up the gun court.
Yes. I remember that, Bowie. It's true.
We had to
You're right, Bowie. I remember that.
Luckily, Mr. James is a good Catholic. So his father is Clark. I think he was from Highgate. Yeah. So we were able to stay down by George's. But that was
yes, that's right. My brother who's a priest and also Highgate having that strong Catholic history, Yes. Sorry to interrupt.
Mark, did the cheering help? Did the cheering help you? You ran 800, right? So you had time to go around and listen to the cheer as you're strolling around the track. Did it help you, or did it interrupt your train of thought, or what?
Like with me, to be honest, I was just kind of focused on the race. You're scared as hell because you don't want to run last. So like your mind is into the race itself. I never heard the cheers as much. I was just trying to focus to get around the track and not to come last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. What was your specialty event? Which event did you like coaching most?
That's a tough one. I coached Oh my God, it's hard to say.
The one and two, this
The one, 2, 3, and 4. The 1, 2, and 4. May have a little edge, but I got a thrill out of all the events. I did the long jump. Andre Gillette had the long jump class 3 or class 2 record for years. Kay Allen had the hurdles, and I had I got assistance, you know. So sometimes I'm not doing everything all by myself. But what the sprint? I was a sprinter at school, so I don't know if I say the sprints, but that wouldn't be fair because other events had great success, but maybe the sprinters had more success. I don't know. That's a tough one.
All right.
That's a tough question to answer.
Because I won't answer that.
Because I had to do everything. And track and field is so many events. And you got to be on top of, as a matter of fact, when I went to the Carifta Games as the head coach, the head coach was supposed to be this volunteer from abroad, but Hardly Hewitt said, listen, and he told him, you just stick with those 2 events, the long distance, and the rest of the team is my responsibility. So I was really the head coach as such.
Okay.
But where are we now? Overall, I got assistance too. I did try and, I remember Trevor Stoddart would come along and give. I got assistance, a little help right along the way here and there, but the whole thing was really on my shoulder.
On your shoulder, okay.
So yes, so I coach every event, and what happened is that I could not give preference to one event over the other, else there would be no success. There will be success, but not as it is.
Okay.
But I think I like the sprints because I was a sprinter.
Because you were a sprinter.
and a good one in my time at that.
All right, guys, we have gone over an hour, and for those watching, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in as we reminisce with these legends. These legends, when I say legends, I mean legends. Not because we're little St. Mary High. These guys went ahead and they paved the way. Tex, Bowie, Marshall were role models to me. Mark and I were in the same form together. So I look at Mark as a compadre. But people like Tex really, really laid it down for me. And I'm going to tell you a little story. I used to fool around track. I thought I could run until one sports day. This man, just as I'm about to go down on my mark, this man says something in my ears that psyched me out completely for the race. Text. I'm running a 400 against, I think it was Hector Richardson. And I'm in lane 3. Hector is in lane 4. And just as we're going to be called to our mark, Text bend on and whisper in my ears. Hector going to run left, boy. When we get the whistle for goal, because of that pain in my ears, I cut down the stagger and Hector before I even passed the mango tree. I run out of steam coming in. I learned that valuable lesson that day. But the man was a true house leader, and he did everything and anything without bending the rules just to get his guy to win. So, guys, I want to thank you all for coming. And any last word, Mark? Any last word before we end this?
No, listen, it's just a privilege and an honor, man. I'm glad I was on the show, seeing all these guys, man. These guys are like awesome, coach, awesome. Thanks for having us, Gary. And I hope we keep in touch, man, because this is history, okay?
Tex, anything before we go?
Yeah, you did a good job. A really, really good job. And thanks for having us. And it was really nice being together again like this. Reminiscing about pen relays, bringing back memories like that.
Oh my God.
And real quick, I mean, you were asking Coach what was his favorite Ben, right? I had a quick thought about the reason why in the Bible, that Cain and Abel story at the beginning of the Bible where Cain killed Abel. I mean, that was there to sort of tell parents never show favoritism to kids because bad things can happen. Coach is very wide, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, man, so that's. But thanks, Gary. You're doing a fantastic job, man.
Thank you, guys. Bowie, any final words, Bowie?
Yeah, well, I must thank you, Walla, for putting this together. I mean, I'm really proud of it, what you have done. And boy, I've seen Mr. James probably for 40 years.
Yes, it's a long time.
Really
Hallelujah! But this is tremendous.
and Mark, I mean, it is really good to see you guys. I mean, I really enjoy this show. I could go on for the rest of the night.
Oh my gosh, man.
But I hope this is just the beginning, that we will start keep in closer contact.
I hope so. I hope so, Bowie. I want to see that bus come up that hill.
Right. And, we need as soon as possible where we can meet face to face again.
Face to face.
We probably need to come back to the school and at least give some pep talk to those who are there.
We have
Right.
right now. Right.
That would be good.
So keep in touch.
Right.
We have everybody's number, and we'll just make something happen. All right.
Right.
Mr. James, final word,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Pardon me?
Final word from you. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. First of all, let me congratulate you and thank you very much for this privilege and opportunity tonight. And to also remind you that you did some traction. You ran a 4x4 for St. Mary High.
No, Mr. James. Mr. James. Let's be honest. I didn't deserve to be on that team. I remember you putting me on the team because you said, listen, they respect you and I want you to be captain. If at any time any of the other boys wanted that position, they could have pushed me off.
The fact remains, you set an example because you ran a leg there. And I got you to bring out every ounce of strength and energy, which was good. And you see, I remember the big. I remember. I keep in my memory every detail, and every little thing is very important. What I would love for us to do, and I must congratulate you, Garfield, for tonight. I salute you, sir.
Salute you guys.
What I would like for us to do, I think Lord just mentioned it. If we could come, if I was hearing properly or reading his mind, if we could come together physically in person, so in Miami, as a little group, sit down over a meal and reminisce. This is great. This is what. Listen, I never imagined that this could happen. To put the technology to this use is I salute you, sir. I salute you, and I'm very grateful to you for this. So let's take it. I'm suggesting we take it one step further to come together in this fashion in the flesh.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Like Lord would come up to Miami. I'm in Baltimore. I come down to Miami. So Miami. Or Florida will be the central meeting place. Work on that, Garfield. You can get it done, man. Don't matter.
We'll see. Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Trust me, thank you. It's been great seeing you guys. Some of you guys I haven't seen for 40 years. I left St. Mary. Mark, thanks for coming, man. And Mark, I want to thank you for the great job you're doing with the fundraising. Keep it up, and we're going to talk a little later from this. Cedric, Dex, you have been a role model to so many of us. For some of them who came later, they only heard about. Now they get a chance to see. What I remember most is that beard, man. Mr. Bowie. Those who come off the screen like and Solo. We're going to be here. And Coach, thank you very much. But all my viewers,
welcome.
Thank you,
This
sir.
is a wonderful night.
I hope. All right. And to all the viewers.
Could you send each of us our number and we keep in touch on a regular basis.
All right.
For next week, continue Garfield.
Thank you, sir.
For
next week,
I'm trying
to get the girls down. I'm trying to round up like very small. Yvonne Edwards, Kay and Jackie John. Trying to get that together.
Yeah, that
All
would
right,
be
guys.
fantastic. That would be
That
good.
would be great.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
Hey, thanks. Man.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of another Rock Your Mic Walk Down Memory Lane. I appreciate all the people who logged on. I thank you very much. I'm sorry about that little feedback problem. We couldn't really figure out whose mic it was coming from. But remember, in this time of COVID, most people are in their homes, kids running up and down, grandkids, whatever, dogs, whatever. And we're not in a real studio. Right now, I'm in my daughter's bedroom. Good thing she's no longer at home. But guys, thanks for coming on. Please keep giving me ideas. Just inbox me with the ideas of who you'd like to see, who you'd like to have on, and I'll try and get them. We want to create a more cohesive past student body. I want, not just me, the whole school, the board, the chairman, principal, everybody. What we're trying to do is raise funds for the school. And if we get everybody back together, it can be done. And it can be done quite easily because we have so many graduates from all different walks of life. If we can, we'll start small, $20. And as of next episode, I'm going to start really begging this money. I want this cash, guys. $20. Next month, we give another 20 or $10 each month. $10 each month. It can be done. It can be done, guys. It can be done. It can be done. Please. I'm asking everybody, please, just chip in. Help out. A little at a time. Remember I was saying, every mickle make a muck. One cocoa full basket. We can do it, guys. My dream is to see a bus drive up that hill. A bus with St. Mary High emblazoned down the side. That's what I want to see. And if we can raise enough for 2 buses, fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you again and peace out. Signing off, Garfield Waller. Rock the mic.